Hello everyone, and today it's going to be a different video. I'm going to be explaining some things about my world building in my story of Journey to Egypt. It will include Nigerian gods, major gods, and minor gods of Nigerian mythology, and culture, like gods like Chi and Eke, and Allah, and Chango, and Yamuja, Oya, and Ogun. And many of my characters are named after various gods because of their powers and their abilities. Also, I will be including different gods from different pantheons. But mainly, it's the Egyptian gods in the first beginning of the book. In the first book that I'm writing, the current book that I'm writing, it's going to be the Egyptian gods and the Nigerian gods, mainly. Like the gods like Aiku, the Nigerian god of death, and other gods like Horus, Isis, Osiris, Nephthys, Set, Hapi, and Anubis, Thoth, Sekhmet, Aset, Tehuti, Amun, Ammit, and Amun Ra, or just Ra, even Shu and Tifnit, and other various gods from different religious pantheons. But mainly in the first book is going to be the Egyptian and the Nigerian gods, specifically the Yoruba and Igbo. Like for instance, Chi and Ike, and I will and I will be doing lots of world building lore on my world. Probably sometime during the first book, but mainly in the second book that I'm gonna write after I publish the first one. And you guys already know the synopsis of my story. The main character is going to Egypt to get gold from the pharaoh of Egypt, Akhenaten, and Tutankhamun. Well, that's later on. Tutankhamun is going to be later on. But after I get done with the first 3 books of my story, I will be doing other books that are like sequels that follow like freaking main characters off to different countries and stuff. Also, I'll be including like different pantheons. Not just pantheons, but just different groups of people. Like in my story, you have the fantasy races like the giants, the elves, the berserkers and stuff, and the druids, the nymphs, and the Edan. Well, not the Edan, but the Ehi. If you guys don't know what the Ehi are, they're basically like divine spirits that guide humanity. They don't not guide humanity, but they guide a person throughout their entire life. I think it's either throughout their entire life or until they reach adulthood. And this is coming from Igbo mythology, the mythology of my. You guys might want to understand that I'm Nigerian, I'm Igbo, I'm not Yoruba or Egyptian or Norse, but at the end of the trilogy that I want to make for the first three books. The second trilogy will be Egyptian, and the third trilogy will probably be Norse gods, and the fourth trilogy might be about, or might come back down to Africa. And then the other trilogy might be Greek or Native American or Central American or European gods like freaking Perun and Chernabog and Belobog and Beelabog and like the Tuatha De Danann, the Irish godlike beings. And I do want to tell you guys something. The story that I am making, it's not really, well, it's true to the main religion and mythology, but at the same time it's different. Like there are some gods that might exist in my story, but they don't exist in the main mythology because I make them up because it's my own imagination and stuff. So don't get confused. And so, like, if you guys want me to create gods that are not true to the actual mythology, I'm okay with that. Just tell me what aspects you want me to make them and other stuff. But I want to say something though. The gods that I do want to make, most of them, majority of them might be minor gods, but some of them are major gods in this story that in this mythos that I'm trying to create. So, anyways, I'm ranting too much. So, I want to create like a mythos of a story that is like Lord of the Rings ish, and probably the second book that I'm making. It won't be in the main trilogy, but it's going to be like a book that explains the backstory of my world. And different myths and mythoses. And stuff. Like, of the gods that I'm using for Nigerian myth are like Olorun and Chi Ike, Allah, and other gods. But it does not actually take place in Nigeria, it takes place in another country, my own fictional country. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys later. Catch y'all later, guys.